I think it's a much more powerful weapon for us to use as a surprise in the moment, instead of just start using it right now when there's no real purpose to keep your actions hidden because you're with the group, so there's nothing really nothing surprising there.
Mm-hmm.
Except it's absolutely worthless as an attempt to surprise because it takes. I seem to recall you have to attune to it, which takes a little time, and then there's a lot of other crap involved, and it just.
It is an attunement, and it takes that. And I get what you're saying, but with them seeing what we're doing, what we're gathering now, they would be aware of these things. At least with this, things that the person is holding would also be unknown, and things like that.
Like
what?
So, let me interject just a little bit before you, so think about who's, so we're talking about the green dragon. Ho, 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 green dragon. Oh, are we live?
We are live. Welcome back. Session 25.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
We're having some character discussions, kind of in character, out of character, because, that's what we do.
Yeah. Session 25?
Yep, 25.
Alrighty. Session 25, we're in the second book of the series here as our characters have leveled up to level 5 and 6. So we're in the zombie book, and we're in the Welcome to the Jungle chapter still. This is their first hurrah into the city and such. We have been in the market, the southern market, kind of a poorer part of the district, market district. We found a portal. We also found a carriage made of bones, and they seem to be wrangling up some skeletons. And I think our characters figured out that they were one of the sects are using I can't speak skeletons for forging different things. And we haven't got into the full extent of that, but they at least have made a buggy carriage, cage-like thing, so that he could throw in more skeletons and make more things. And then when the group was found out, the Dark Knight went home and told Mommy, and Mommy wasn't happy, so she sent out the masses to find our group. All the little skeletons and zombies and spirits started entering into the streets and coming out of their cubby holes, seeking the adventurers, hoping to, maybe get some reward from the Wraith Queen. But our adventurer said nope, and decided to take the portal. Went to Lodock, I believe, yes. Went to the Lodock bridge.
I thought we went to Modoc.
I think the map. Where's map? No, that's Windmill Camp. Where's map?
Wait, I was on that.
We were on map. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. There was a portal going to Gym, which is one of the Gym market areas, and then the other two were going to Lodock and High Dock, respectively.
Okay, I guess I just heard the O part last time and confused it with Mo instead of Low.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah. So there was one going to the west, one portal. Sorry, it wasn't going to Gym. It was going to the west. Yeah, that's right. So I kind of let the cat out of the bag there. And then the other two, you pretty much figured out was going to low dock and high dock. So y'all decided to go to low dock, or at least the first person did, and that's where the rest of the people went.
Uh-huh.
You found a little cubby hole in one of the docks, hiding away. You started talking to a spirit, gave it some silver, it gave you some information. And now you know a little bit more about what's going on. There's different factions, and silver does something for the spirits. So, with the few silver coins you still have on hand, you're in your cubby hole and you're deciding, well, there's a lot of activity in that dock over there. See skeletons, we see a boat, you even see a few zombies coming up and doing something and then leaving. I believe last session you were thinking about finding out what was going on over here. But yeah, that's pretty much where you're at. You're hiding away in a little office, a little 20 by 20, with the four of you and your spirit ghost, your spirit companion. And then you're talking about what would you like to do with the amulet. So we're in the immediate, since that's the last thing we were doing. The green dragon, dragon is the one that you're concerned about. So she has means of whatever, spying on you and such. And there are different ways of doing that. I guess my big thing would be how often is she spying on you? Now, she probably might be spying on you more if she thinks that you're doing something more important and such. But like on a daily, how much is she spying on you?
Yeah. I think for Kellum, it's not really down to how much she is. It's what are we looking to accomplish by hiding one member of the group?
Oh,
So
and that's definitely a very good, thing. I'm just wanting to throw in, she probably doesn't know about it right now. Probably. Yeah. Because she would have to be watching that specific moment and stuff. So, and, depending on what scrying devices she's using, they could be, or abilities she's using, they could be thwarted just by natural environment and stuff like that. Just depends on the exact, item or skill. So, that's pretty much all I'm going to say about her. She may not have been watching that exact moment, so she may not know that you even have it. I'm not saying that she doesn't know that you have it or does it. I'm just giving you the percentage. What is the, what's the
I think we got enough. We don't want a metagame here.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Callum would look at Ashura. I guess at some point we've decided to talk about this while we're sitting here waiting, trying to decide what we're going to do next. Otherwise, it's kind of an odd conversation to have while we're in the field.
No, you're like, Ashura's like, hey, before we go out, can I have the pretty?
So Callum would look at Ashura and say, look, I don't care if you want to have the amulet, use the amulet. But if you're going to try to use it as a tactic to obscure yourself from this green dragon, from others, even from watching us, we need to make sure we do that in an actual tactical manner. So like, what is it if you're with the group, we're all going around gathering things together as a group, what is it that using it right now will keep from someone that's spying? If the only person that hides is you, but the rest of the group is aware and seeing the exact things, same things that you're seeing and are in the same place that you are. I feel that perhaps it's a better tool to keep hidden. We found an amulet. We don't know what it is. And then at some other point when we have to eventually meet with somebody who may have been tracking our movements, then it would be okay. We come into their city or we come into their house and one of us disappears and is able to get around the corner. That person being you or any of the others. It doesn't really matter, but it's like if we use it now, then they're aware that we have this ability and they can prepare for that. If we don't use it and we wait until the last minute to use it, then it's a true surprise that we can use to our advantage.
I get what you're saying, but I think you're not understanding kind of. You're saying wait till the moment to surprise someone with it. The thing is this type of item is to keep people unaware of what we're doing beforehand, not until then. If we waited until the moment to say we give it to Necra to sneak up on someone, well, if they can see her physically seeing her coming, which I know it's Necra, that would defeat the whole purpose of it. The thing about using this is to be unseen while they are trying to spy on us, to throw them off, because yes, they can see 3 out of the 4 of us, but what is that other person doing? They don't know. Would that force their hand to send out troops and stuff? Would that make them change their tactics? Yes. That could be beneficial or wrong.
Detrimental for us.
Yeah.
Well,
we don't.
I feel that if we force their hand in that way, right now, that would be nothing but bad for us. Because then that's going to be more physical eyes on us. And they may decide to send in a whole army to watch. It's like, well, I don't see a benefit to that.
Well, it's a lot of wondering thinking of what they would do. Are we enough that if one of us disappears, are we enough that she would want to send out more people, send out her troops, spies, to get physical eyes on us, being that who she is and obviously trying to manipulate us? Are we worth the effort of her doing all of that while she's still trying to manipulate the Reds or the other groups around?
It's just, we don't know. But
the whole thing is,
I guess my point is that's the only thing that we would accomplish. Is we would force their hand one way or the other. Either she'd show her hand that she is that interested and really wants to manipulate our group or control our group, or she's not. That's the only thing it will accomplish.
Say we do find something that we don't want them to be aware of that we have.
Well, the only way they won't be aware of it is if you're the only one that finds it while wearing the amulet and they don't tell the rest of it. But if it's one of us that finds it, she's aware of it.
Could be aware of it. But then again, if it's also something that disappears, what can she do about it?
Well, then it'll be obvious if one of us finds it, say I find it, and like, okay, here, assure that you take it, wear the amulet, make it disappear. And she's happened to be tracking us, or if she's tracking us the entire time, or happened to be tracking at that moment, she knows we found something, she knows we made it disappear, she knows we have that ability, and that will force her hand. And she will come after it.
Here, Durham, I am waiting on yes, no,
or... So I rolled off screen.
Oh.
and you rolled a big 7.
Oh, okay.
You want to describe what you're doing?
So, Necra's hand is... Well, she tries to sneakily just remove the temptation. And, well... Now
Are
the
you
question
miserable?
is, Ashura, are you going to slap the hand, or just do the really what the routine?
So Kellum and Asher are trying to have this discussion, this debate. Banthor's just Banthor, just sitting there doing the Uncle Iroh sipping tea.
He was actually doing something. Go ahead.
I'm using the sending stones. Y'all just haven't noticed.
He's over there sending messages. Hey, what up? You up? To the tree.
I think also everybody watching this conversation would notice that this is actually a very civil conversation, debate between Kellum and Ashura.
Exactly. And then here's Necra's hand just coming out of nowhere, just do. I'm not doing anything.
Kellum raises his hands as I promise I was not trying to be a distraction. This was not a plan. Just rolls his eyes.
Like Asha just kind of looks at Necra like, really, Necra?
Yeah.
I look at Necra and then back at Kellum and be like, trust me, Kellum, we believe you.
Yes. Anyways, so we do kind of need to get to the other side of the river and back to our base camp at some point.
We do. We'll get to that.
We do.
But again, sure, if you want to use it, that's fine. I don't think it's going to have the effect that you're intending.
I understand. And go ahead.
I just got word back from the tree. I sent a message to Sarabella to ask the tree what it thought about the amulet. So I was getting a feeling from it that it wanted this amulet for some reason. And what I got back was that it would want the amulet to be returned to the tree unbroken for some kind of device that it wants to make. So I'm thinking this amulet might be better used as a defensive mechanism for the tree, perhaps to hide it from anybody that would want to do the tree harm.
Ashura, give me a arcana.
Okay. Oh my. Oh God.
Am I?
Well,
basically
13 with guidance.
All right, okay. So you have heard stories of things like the amulet, items like the amulet being broken from afar, if they are known to exist as a countermeasure, something. So, if somebody has had one on and their opposing force was able to break it from afar. But they had to know, and there was other circumstances in there and stuff like that. But, so it can be broken.
Like any item could be broken.
Right.
Enough power or force behind
right.
it.
Yeah. So that's the only thing that the tree has to say. Is it's making it for some new device, or wants to use it for some new device, and to make sure you bring it back unbroken.
I understand. I see. Asha's not gonna argue about it, so she'll we'll keep it away if an opportunity is seen to use it, and I think it should be utilized. But for now, I'll concede that right now might not be the time.
Excuse me.
And Necro's getting antsy, so considering how bad she rolled trying to take the amulet, she's getting very antsy.
Mind if I hold on to the amulet? I am quite perceptive.
I mean, you were actually the one holding on to it the whole time.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, yeah. Because since the tree wanted it.
May I continue to hold on to it?
Yes, you continue to. Which is why I was wondering why Necro was reaching towards. That time she's fancy that she forgot that Banthor's the one that had the amulet.
Well, that's why she got caught. It was like, well, it wasn't around the neck. I mean, oh, caught. Oh, you didn't even have it.
Yep.
Yep.
That's why you rolled the 7. There we go. Okay.
So I am fine with that. She concedes to that, and we can move on.
So after your conversation about the amulet, you decide, Banthor should just keep on holding it and not use it for the time being, at least. We have discovered that the tree wants to use it and making some kind of device, and to bring it back unbroken. So while y'all were having a conversation this whole time, Necro's been looking across the bridge at this docking area, and he could see that there are some skeletons on board the ship, doing some work. I see a few of them and such, that there is a random undead creature or two on the street, moving towards the dark area. And every once in a while you catch a glimpse of some skeletons in work uniforms, moving boxes around and so on. You've even seen this crane up near the boat be moved back and forth, pulling things off of the boat and putting things on the dock, taking things off the dock and putting them on the boat. Okay.
So
what was that last bit? He did that. There's another message here. Where did that message go? Nope.
Jesus.
Okay. Somebody sent me a message and I did not see it. I think it was Banthor?
Yes, I can come.
Oh. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. Okay, alright, cool. So you are on the other side of the bridge. The bridge is off map to the south. The most direct route is, coming north. Basically, I'll put your characters on the map. So, coming from the south would be the most direct route. Those going to be the most exposed. If you came from the west, it would take a little bit longer. Going through like buildings or behind buildings and things like that. But you could run into problems. But you would be able to get closer to the dock here, coming from the west. Basically, you'd be able to jump out right from the road, kind of thing. So you'd be right on top of them. And to the north, of this map, you see a lot more activity. So maybe you could go to the north and come in from the north and hit the majority of the activity, if that's what you wanted to do. You could come through the water, but I would not suggest it.
Yes. So we are actually back on the other side of the river, right?
No, you're not on the other side of the river. You're on the other side of the bridge, which goes across the river. So you're on this side, say the west side of the river, the city side of the river. But you're just on the other side of the bridge. So there's a bridge right off map, basically, on the south. And you're another, 30, 50, 100 feet, basically, from the edge of this map, inside a office.
Okay. So if the goal is to go back to our base, let things calm down a little bit.
You could just go 40 feet over to the underside of the bridge, and the portal is right there.
And the nearest of the connecting portals is right where we don't want to go, because that's where the heaviest activity is at the moment.
Yeah, you can still kind of hear some of that activity, yes.
Wasn't there our spirits spoke of a market that we could actually go and shop at?
Mm-hmm. We did mention the gem store. There was mention of there was stuff that could be useful there.
I think perhaps there's a chance that we're over here where things are not so active. We haven't stirred up trouble over here yet.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance that we could just blend right in. Sure, we're not skeletons or anything, but perhaps they would ignore us if we don't interfere in their work.
Mm-hmm.
The reason things happened earlier is because we interfered.
Yeah. It really was just trying to get information, but then things happened.
You look like a skeleton. They were gathering skeletons. They wanted another skeleton. Hey, go get that skeleton. Okay.
The problem is, yes, we got too close to one that was not just mindless. It had purpose, direction. And now that we are aware that more aware that there are people pulling strings, we have to be careful maneuvering. We know that we've made one area a hot zone. We could search the outer areas. We could lay low here, see how things cool down.
I suggest one of us, and I'll volunteer. Probably the best one for the job anyway. I'll just walk up here, and he'll point out near these skeletons here, and I'll meander along, headed towards where the market is, and we'll see if they react to me. If they don't, then we could probably all come along. Maybe not as a group, maybe putting a few yards between us. When we get to that market, then we're halfway to our base camp.
Okay. Our goal was to get to the base camp to lay low, take a rest, or just lay low and wait.
Honestly, if we're able to just pass by these without them reacting to us, unless any of us are in need of rest, we probably don't need to lay low.
I would say, looking at my sheet here, I'm good to keep going. I haven't used up a lot of my resource, aka my spell slots. I've not used a lot of them yet, so.
Only thing, I can't pull that darkness trick again for another day. Otherwise, I'm good to go.
I'm okay with this.
The spirit is still here with you, and it pipes in. You know, it's been kind of just sitting in the corner, just listening to your conversations and such. And he pipes in and says, "The market is a few miles away. I can go there easy, walking, moving. You go through the city. I don't know if I'll see you again."
Do you think going during the cover of night would be better for us? She's asking the group, not the spirit.
Gotcha.
You think if we moved during the cover of night, most of us... I know we said we probably wouldn't want to be out at night, but considering their attention is focused in the one area we've been in, if our plan is to go to a separate section, perhaps moving where we have more cover at night will help. Considering a lot of us, points to Necra, can blend in more.
We could just take the portal over that way.
Well, I'm saying that too. We could take the portal, but would going at night be advantageous for us?
Yes. Traveling during the night would be advantageous. But we also have the opportunity right now to test some theories. And the more we know, the easier it'll be for us to come up with a search plan. If we know we can pass by these skeletons without causing much unrest amongst them, that'll make it easier to search some of the areas that they're already in. And if it comes down to that, skeletons are easy to search around, but when we see something that has a little bit more to it than just bone, those areas to avoid, then we can be more aware of that. And I don't know if we'd be able to get those exact same test circumstances at night. Maybe at night is when we want to travel those areas that are infested with more than just the skeletons. But during the day, we can do what we want to near the skeletons, perhaps.
I understand what you're saying. And some of these are set on their task of and don't defer unless specifically messed with.
Hmm.
We can
I have a plan that involves experimentation.
Say that again.
we can
I'm with Callum on this one.
he's with you.
Okay. I just didn't hear all the words.
Against this. If we want to test these theories, I'm not against it. The only concern is if it does trigger them, then they're going to be coming towards us.
Well, we're close to the portal. I say that if it does trigger them, they come after me. Then, if need be, y'all can throw some ranged cantrips at them until I get close enough and we can just step through the portal again.
I do want to learn more about this portal system. It was a very weird experience going through.
Well, all the better to know how the skeletons will react to us, so that you can begin stepping through the portal at will. And if you come out and they're skeletons, you'll know how they react. If you don't know, then maybe you just jump back through the portal and don't get all your research done with the portal.
That's just true. Okay. I'm fine with this. Well, let's go then.
All right, just watch my back. Let's make sure I'm the only one at actual physical risk here. And Kellen
All right.
will...
Immediately looks for Necra. Where's Necra? Is she still here?
Kellen will...
She's already gone.
Yeah. Kellen will begin walking towards this area up here, not trying to be like just in the skeleton space or anything, but just like, can I walk by it? Oh wow!
Yeah,
you just put a whole bunch more.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
God.
as you're walking up there, you see more,
Mhm.
and you can tell that they are gathering, coming to this little area here. This basically that's like an awning of such, and you can tell that they are moving to this area and then moving away from that area as you start to approach. And they're kind of queuing up, it looks like, as you get closer. So to the left, there's going to be another 5, 10, 15 foot of road, and then buildings are like right on the edge and such. So, small buildings, warehouses, bigger buildings and stuff like that. And you just notice, down the way farther, that there are like one or two coming down the road. And you notice to your south that there are, one or two coming up the road as well, meandering towards this location.
Okay. Oh goodness, why did it do that?
Necra, are you accompanying?
Yes, just trying not to be obtrusive, but just present.
Okay.
Kind of like that. The red line starts the buildings, and in between the red line and the road over here is more road.
Correct. Yeah. More road, building.
And I'll kind of like,
Gotcha.
maybe center road, maybe not, kind of off to the side a little bit, whatever.
Right.
I'll kind of fluctuate it a little bit. Not a full on, I'm zigzagging a bunch to draw attention, but just kind of like floating around a little bit to see what their reactions are as I go by. And I'll go to here, turn around and come back and see their reactions. I'm also going to try and observe them as much as possible to see, like you said, they're it looks like they're queuing up. When they queue up, are they getting something before they walk away, or
Right.
what does that look like?
So as you get, to that position that you're at, You notice that there are 2 skeleton workers. They have uniforms on, not unlike the uniforms of the ones you saw in the north up here. That seem to be still moving boxes around and such. You'll notice that the individuals coming up to the let's just call it the shop, they have something glowing that has a green glow to it. You can't really see what it is because they're kind of like clutching it and holding it. But they drop this green aura off, whatever object that's glowing green, and then they seem to receive something small, and then they kind of like, some of them will vibrate or joscillate after getting whatever, and then they seem to be more animated and move away. The more animated ones give you more like, what? Who are you? But they still move away.
Right. Okay.
And stuff. So this guy over here, he got whatever. He dropped off the green something and then got something, became more animated and gave you a look, but walked away and such. And went back into a building, here, as you get closer. The 2 workers, notice y'all, Necra and Kellum.
Why are there lights?
Piss. I kept forgetting about that. Thank you very kindly for reminding me. It's still daytime.
Oh. I thought we were active doing all this at night.
Oh, okay. No. If you want to do it at night, that's fine.
I thought we were going to do this now during the daytime and then do other stuff at night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kellum wanted to do this now, so it's still daytime.
We need data on how they react both during the day and at night.
Right.
And we're in a good position to figure out the day reaction right now.
We want to see how they do it day to see if it's better to move at night.
Gotcha.
Okay,
yeah, that's fine. Do you want to change your actions?
Not really, no. Just
okay. That's fine.
Go up, and if there's like a pole or a wall or whatever, just lean at it and like watch them.
Okay. So, there's like some wood, a pile of wood over here. It's ancient, hasn't been used. But it's still a pile of wood. So you could have, made your way over there and then, snuck up over to where you're at. And then be peering around the corner with one eye or, something, to kind of get, more information. Or you could be leaning there, just like, yeah, I'm here. What you gonna do about it?
Pretty much.
Okay. So you, take post there. And the guy closest to you, the skeleton in uniform, motions for you to go behind the other skeleton and, kind of like, move and go over there with his arms and stuff. He doesn't talk to you.
Okay.
So he's kind of like saying, come over this way.
All right. Start kind of moseying and watching.
Okay.
Actually, specifically looking for whatever they're to see.
Right.
They set down. So
this creature is kind of like a cross between a skeleton and a zombie. He still has some flesh hanging on, but it's more skeleton than anything. It seems to have a just a simple plate, but it's glowing green. And such. And you'll look at some of the other ones that are there. One of them has a fish, dead, but it's glowing green and such. And then the other one has some vegetables. Not the best. They might be somewhat out of date, shall we say. But they seem to be glowing green. Some corn. Kellum, you can continue moving north.
Yep, I'll go start getting on up towards the other side here.
Okay.
Other half of the building.
All right. You notice there are 4 skeletons in uniform, moving boxes around. They're not exactly very organized. Kind of like the skeletons at the small chapel. They'll grab a box, set it down, and then another skeleton will grab it and kind of move it somewhere else and stuff. And then you hear from the ship, you need to move better. Pick up the box and bring it this way. Bring it this way. So one of the skeletons will pick up a box and start moving it towards the ship. And he takes a direct route and falls into the water with his box, disappearing from sight. And the skeleton that was on the boat yells, you stupid, rah, 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 rah. You know, a long string of adjectives. And, then yells at the other ones, bring it over to that crane thing and stuff. And then they start to organize themselves and start to move the boxes, in a little bit more organized fashion towards the crane area over here.
Right. Are these boxes closed?
Yeah, they're crates, and they're closed. Though every once in a while you might kind of see like a green aura emanating from inside the box, the crate.
Okay. I still have the scrap of cloth that I took from Banthor to wrap those short swords in.
All right.
And I've got my lantern covered up in my cloak. I'm going to take that scrap of cloth, bring one of the lights out underneath it so it's still hidden, and just kind of drop the cloth and the light down to the ground, keeping them close to the ground until I get further away from the light itself. I'll keep on walking to right there.
Okay. So you're leaving your light here. Is that what you're saying?
Yep, leaving the light right there underneath a piece of cloth at the moment. When I get to here, I'm going to summon Unseen Servant.
Got it.
And then I'm seeing Necra. I'm going to stare at Necra until Necra looks at me.
Okay.
And notices me. And then I'm going to give the hand signals like, get the heck out of there. Either come towards me or go back to the others. Either way. Does Necra acknowledge and proceed?
Well,
Okay.
VTT, the lights.
uh,
Your dancing light.
I guess.
Can
I
you
got one right
VTT that?
no.
Unseen Servant?
Yeah.
The spell.
My apologies. I didn't use enough words.
I didn't know what you meant.
Gotcha.
There you go. So once Necra is with me, I'm going to have the Unseen Servant. Let's draw that in a different color, I reckon. I'll make it a square as well. Make it different. Unseen Servant is going to go over and prepare. I'm going to choose the most unstable skeleton that's still holding their glowing green thing. And of course I'll have to get a little bit closer as I move the light. What I'll do is I'll move the light first, keep it as close to the ground as possible. and until I get to where I want it at. Then I'll move it fast so the cloth falls off, and I'll bring it into the face of this skeleton to just annoy it. And once it's sufficiently distracted or falling over even, Unseen Servant will grab the glowing green thing and bring it underneath the cloth.
Okay.
Coming up with a way to thwart me. Oh, there's a dice.
Yeah,
race.
I'm just trying to, like, okay, this happens. And then you're trying to get the Unseen Servant to, take it while it's distracted, basically.
Yeah.
It's not, so the light comes in the face of the skeletal creature, and it just is distracted, and it waves one of its hands while still clutching the fish, and it waves its hand in it, trying to get the light out of its eyes and such. The Unseen Servant, it has one hand holding the fish and one hand waving. Do you wish to try to get it while it only has one hand holding the fish?
The Unseen Servant will kind of push the skeleton a little bit as it's waving around, kind of give it an extra little push to throw it off balance.
Okay. All right. And then again. Huh. All right. So the Unseen Servant pushes the skeleton. It actually moves to the side, and the fish is actually dropped onto the ground. So you then get the Unseen Servant to grab it and put it underneath.
Under the cloth that the light left behind.
Okay, all right.
And then it will just kind of move the cloth and the fish, across the ground, staying low, out of there. Like if they're not looking at the ground, looking for something moving, it's just going to stay on the ground moving.
Okay.
While the light continues to just kind of dance around and keep this undead distracted. And the Unseen Servant will just bring the fish and the cloth over to like the path I'm walking. The moment I get there and I kind of pick it up, I'll dismiss the lights.
Okay. Alrighty. So this skeletal creature becomes enraged, swinging wildly at the light and anything that comes close to it. The skeletal creatures back off, and the two workers come forward and draw weapons and start to attack the enraged skeleton here.
I'll dismiss the light the moment I see them come forward to attack this enraged skeleton.
Gotcha. You're moving forward. Necra, do you stay up there, move forward with? Okay. All right. I just took that skeleton away just to, say that it wasn't standing right there.
Yeah. It went off to the building earlier, I think, right?
Right.
Since the Unseen Servant's for 1 hour, I'll just keep it with me for now.
Gotcha. Yeah, you just put it in the in your lantern like the other ones and such, and to continue to move down the road. In short order, the two construction workers take care of this enraged skeleton creature and go back to their positions, and they wave the other creatures that were there to come forward and such.
Okay.
So they start to after a few moments of them clutching their green item, and looking around, they slowly come forward to trade items. You spend a moment as you're walking back down the road to find out what they're trading, and it's give me a perception roll, the two of you.
Oh, bugger. 12.
All right. So, Kellum, you could tell it's some kind of money exchange. They get an item and they're handing over coin. Necker, you can see that they're handing over silver coins. They kind of look at the item, judge it for a second, and then hand over 1 or 2 silver coins.
Okay. Well, looking, do I see anything like lanterns or similar? Or, like, if overnight I happen to come wandering past
Right.
and...
Right. You... Let's see. Give me a second. No. You don't notice any kind of lanterns or light sources. You see a lack of them. You've seen broken ones, where they, probably had, some on both sides of the shop or something like that, but they're definitely not in use.
Okay.
The two construction workers watch you, from here, watch you leave and go out of sight and such, as they continue to do business with other skeletal creatures. Nobody follows you. The one that was in the road here closest to you continues to head north and queue up. Same with one from the north. He comes south and queues up. Those two drop off their vegetables and plate and move off in random directions, either going north or into the buildings and such.
Mm-hmm.
While this one starts to queue up. You notice that it had some vegetables with it. The one that was that you passed, it was headed north towards the shop there, and it had some vegetables in its hand that were glowing green.
Glowing green, yeah. So when I get out of sight of all that and far enough away, I'll pull out this fish and kind of unwrap it a little bit. I'm not going to touch the fish directly. I'm going to continue to touch it via the cloth I got it wrapped in. Is it still glowing green?
It is.
All right, when I meet up with Ashura and Banthor, I will present it to them, say, you guys figure out what is up with this glowing green fish. Up there they had all kinds of things, plates, vegetables, fish that were glowing green, and they were turning them in and getting something in return. Necra may have more information when she gets here.
You could tell, like I said, Kellum, that they were exchanging coins. You just couldn't tell, exactly.
Oh, I thought only Necra saw that it was actually coins.
No, you saw that it was coins with your 12, but you couldn't
Okay.
tell like exactly what type of coin or anything like that.
All right.
But
Well,
Nectar
I'll
can
relay
see with
what
it.
I know, but I'm
Right. Yeah.
mostly here. Recovered this without causing any kind of a stir, really, to attract attention to us. What is it? Why is it glowing green? Don't eat it. Probably don't eat a glowing green fish.
The fish is kind of fresh, so it was caught recently. And you can't really. It looks like it might have been speared. There's some kind of puncture wound in it and such. I don't know how much fishing your characters would have done. Probably not much. So fishing with a hook or spear. Spear would probably be the obvious way to fish and such. Yeah, it's been speared through. Anybody that wants to roll Arcana?
I've handed it over to Banthor and Ashura.
All right.
Let them do their thing. I think the two of you just rolled the exact same thing on Arcana.
Yes.
I guess I don't
Alrighty.
want
Let's see. So there's Necra 22, 17 for Banthor.
And Ashra got 22 as well. So
Okay, all right, thank you.
+2 guidance. So 24.
All right. So yes, in a way, it is like an ectoplasma has been infused. You think it's some kind of necrotic energy, but it's different than a damaging necrotic energy. Not to say that if you ate this, you wouldn't be damaged, but it seems that this fish has somehow gathered necrotic energy in itself, and this energy is coming forth as a green glow. You're pretty sure that it could probably be used by somebody, as either some kind of energy source, power, and or getting stronger. Maybe could used for spell casting or ritual casting, more likely. So either something's consuming this energy to become stronger, or to use its power to do something, or use the power to do some kind of ritual magic. One, if not all of those three things.
I will also tell them about the voice I heard from the ship. That there does seem to be an actual living person barking orders to these skeletons, the uniformed ones at least.
Are we told that when they have these green items, they are more active?
No, when they get the coin, they become more animated.
Is it the coin or the items that are making them more animated?
The coin.
yeah, they
Necro's info of it being a silver coin, it's very similar to the spirit that followed us.
yeah.
And I'll also make note that the ones that stepped away before I knew exactly what was going on, all I saw was that they was more animated. At that point, they seemed to be able to take more notice of me than they were before they traded in their item.
Pretty much, yeah. So
If silver is making them more animated, like this spirits, we need to
You
find
notice
out
that you'll notice that the spirit is hanging out, probably a little bit behind y'all, close. I don't know exactly where y'all are at. Maybe say, it's hanging out near the portal. wherever you are. If you came like a little bit closer to like watch or anything like that, but it's hanging out at the portal. Some probably 30 odd feet away from where y'all are, observing the Kellum and Necra. Go where you were, and such. So it didn't move closer. When y'all moved closer, it just kind of stayed at the portal and such. So
then, couple things. Why is Silver making them more animated? Where are they getting these infused items?
I will remind you that going through the farm area to get to the city, the farm area glows kind of a green. So you didn't notice anything particular glowing green, just like the plants a little bit. It just has like a green aura to it and such. And you did notice that some of these skeletons had vegetables that were themselves glowing green.
Someone or something is infusing. I would more say polluting. Something's polluting these with necrotic energy. The farm is one area.
Kellum is going to take his bow and arrow and his rope. And since we're close to the river anyway, he's just going to step over there and find a fish to shoot an arrow through and pull it back in.
Okay, give me a perception.
Ooh.
I'm going to notice what he's doing and just guidance.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to need it. That didn't help. 9.
Okay. The water is very murky.
Okay. I'm going to send one of my lights down into the water.
There you go. All right. Okay, roll with advantage.
All right. Uh, 12, is guidance still in effect?
You can be guidanced again. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It was a 13.
Just 2 thumbs up.
With a 13, you do notice that you can see, you see fish, but you actually see one that has a slight green hue to it.
Oh, so all right. My theory was that if it dies here, it gets infused with that. But since there's one that already has it, I will aim for the one that has the green hue.
Okay. Roll standard.
Okay.
I would, in general, you would roll with advantage because you could see it well. But if you didn't have the light, you would probably be rolling with disadvantage as the arrow hits the water.
13 then.
Okay. 13. That's good enough for you to spirit and grab the rope and wrangle it in. You've got a high enough athletics that that's not an issue. So you wrangle, you spear this fish and pull it back into shore. It has a green glow, not unlike the other fish that you have. It is alive, and it doesn't seem to be doing well. But it's not, like obviously diseased or anything like that. But it's not doing well.
I'll bring it over to the Banthor and assure him, it's like, here's a slightly fresher one. Got it right over there. It was already glowing green in the water.
Pretty much the same thing. You see that this has a little less trying to for the taint. What was the word you used, Ashra? What is it doing? It's
Polluting.
polluting. Yes, you see a little less pollution in this one than the previous one you had.
Okay.
So there is some gradation, of pollution. It seems.
So wherever this fish is swimming, wherever its swim cycle, it's going near something that's polluting. It's going near polluted waters.
So this fish that Kellum has caught, has a light pollution, where the previous one that you first stole, it has a stronger pollution to it. And Necra mostly, you would have noticed that they did exchange one or two silver coins. Like one person, skeleton got one coin, where the other one got two.
So, like, the more heavily radiated or polluted it is, the more coins they get for it.
It would seem that way.
They're shipping off all these things with that pollution, all that energy in it on this ship.
Okay.
And we know, and we got from the checks that these could be used for a power source, ritual source, those necromancy type magic things.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
And we are aware that there's a lich here.
Correct. Yes. Who is in control of the horde?
Yeah, who's in control of? Yeah. So, putting two and two together, there is the witch is trying to harvest energy by polluting areas and using the horde to gather these things.
Okay. Necra goes over and grabs a sample of the water in a vial and comes back. Necra, when you do this, you notice the ship is moving away from the dock. It moves about 30 feet, out. It's about
midway in the channel.
Midway in the channel, and then goes underwater.
Goes.
It just
like it's supposed to.
sinks.
It's like submarines and such, and disappears underneath the water.
Okay.
You do see some movement in the water, and it looks like it turns around and heads north.
Okay, so bringing the water back, I'm like, well, that's not something you usually see every day. And explain it.
I would presume that it's taking the polluted goods back to
Whoever, yeah. And maybe there's something in the water?
Perhaps there's an underwater passage to their lair.
No, as far as and hold out the vial, like, maybe there's something in the water that's causing the glow? Or at least for some of this?
I'm killing it with these checks. 20 Arcana on the water.
Gotcha. You look at the water; it's murky, more murky than it should be. It is flowing, but it seems to be being polluted at some place.
It's not the water itself, which is what Ash was thinking. It's not the water it's something polluting the water. Something else. If we could probably go back to the farm, because it seems heavily polluted. We can find the source of what's polluting the ground / running off into the water. We could get more answers. Because it's only guessing here. When I'm guessing there's something in the ground, polluting the ground, but it's also running off into the water. Which is why the water is not so heavily polluted as the vegetables and such are. You know.
Before we go, what do you say about disrupting one of their supply lines?
Do you think it's wise for us to interfere with what they're doing?
I don't know if it's wise, but I know that this goes against everything that I have been taught. This is sick.
I understand. But our goal to kind of lay low and not draw their attention to us at the moment.
I'm with Banthor on stopping all that. I think we should carefully plan how we want to stop it. We cause too much of a ruckus in an area that we cannot get away from. There's too many undead here for us to deal with. And brute force is not the answer here.
Too.
You can give a perception roll, everyone. No, whatever.
No, whatever.
I got
no
a 6.
guidance. So Banthor, with your 23, you notice that the general background noise coming from the west isn't there anymore.
Things seem to have calmed down.
Yeah. After about an hour of y'all messing about, it did take you some time to travel here, even through the Shadow Gate. That time and the time that you spent investigating, it seems that things have calmed down at the market area.
I hear nothing
All
around
right.
Maria. I think we'd be safe to retreat back if things get dicey.
Okay, hearing that, I pull the hood up. The Cloak of Elvenkind. Go over to the unused, over by the other crane.
Got it.
Collect up like cloth and wood chips and stuff, and just flint and steel. Get it smoking, smoldering, and then walk away. And as soon as I get back to the group, I'm like, time to go.
Just set the fire. Let's burn down the docks.
I'm just grinning ear to ear.
All right.
So,
So you go over, Necra, do a stealth mission on this crane, and start a small fire with some good kindling that you found at the large pile of wood here, and wait till it starts to catch, and then come back to the group and like, well, let's see what this does.
One down, one to go.
It takes a moment for these construction workers to really understand what's happening and such. When they finally do understand what's happening, the crane is fully engulfed in fire. It doesn't take long. This is an old piece of equipment that hasn't been tended to in quite some time. And goes up quickly and basically catches so this area is now engulfed in flame as the skeletons start to come over to try to deal with said problem. Give me a second here.
Yeah.
It seemed that there were workers inside the building,
Mm-hmm.
and they all come to try to deal with the situation. They're not very adept at putting out fires, and they start throwing themselves onto the fire to destroy it, the fire. And one by one, they become consumed by the fire as they try to put it out. After a while, the whole dock catches aflame, and you see green smoke and such mingled in with the other smoke. It seems that maybe they didn't load all the cargo onto the ship, as some of this is burning off as well. A large fire has started to develop and is consuming the whole dock area here. I'm not gonna, but it's on fire.
That was part of the time to go. Like, we do not want to be here when it actually catches. So, like, trying to get us away, but okay, that happened.
It actually, starts very fast afterwards. While this is happening, in the commotion of all of this, a large group of undead body parts finds its way onto the dock and goes over towards the commotion, catching itself in the flames and eventually burning up as well. This large group of skeletal and zombie pieces, limbs, is basically a swarm of zombie limbs that had, for whatever reason, been attracted to the fire or the commotion and came up and got burnt up as well. Y'all make your way over to the portal because there is a large fire now on the in the dock area, and it seems that the buildings across the way are starting to catch on fire a little bit. You see other skeletal creatures come in and start to throw themselves on the fire. This is about the time you're like, it's starting to get crowded. Maybe we should go somewhere different.
This is great. Hey, do we want to take this opportunity to go to the gym? See the gym portal area?
If we can reach it, sure.
I'm satisfied after watching the fire. I just turn. I don't say anything. I just turn and just start walking.
You get to the portal, and your spirit guide is sitting there. He seems to have a slightly vague look on his face as he looks at the group, and he goes, "I think I remember you. Yeah. Give me a second. Okay. Oh, yeah. I gave you that lantern. Okay. Yeah, I remember you. Ooh, that's a big fire. We should go."
Yeah.
Before Kellum steps through the portal to the others, he's going to send his unseen servant to grab as many silver coins as he can.
I was just
All right.
about to say that. If someone did, we see where the source of the silver coins were.
Gotcha. So you knew that they, had some coin over here at the shop area.
Mm.
So you send the unseen servant over there at least, and it is able to find a bag of silver coins.
All right.
Give me a second. Come on. Treasure. All right, there we go. Did it roll? It did. Ooh, it did.
Yeah, rolled 88 on the treasure.
I gotcha. All right. Yeesh. Well, you find a large supply of silver coins. There's 130 coins there in the bag that the unseen servant brings back.
All right.
So
That's 32 and a half silver coins for everybody as Kellum splits it up.
fine. And
What would the half
So
be?
so you have two.
5
No,
cup.
don't split it into 5 copper. So you have two other. You have 2 other silver coins, basically.
Okay, Kellum will just hold on to them. So everybody gets 32. Since we can't split them up. Yeah, makes sense. We don't really know coinage yet. So Kellum will split it up as
Okay.
evenly as possible and keep the excess since it's only 2 coins.
We'll point to the spirit and the
Who
2
is
coins.
very animated watching this exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kellum will go and toss 2 towards him.
And it will quickly gobble those up and go, yes, I remember you guys.
All right. Hey, bud, do you think you could help us get to the gem portal location?
Yeah. Let's see what and he'll reach his, a pin, an arm basically into the portal and goes, "Oh, we're in luck. One of the pathways leads to that market."
All right. Let's go.
Time to go.
Alrighty.
Because it's starting to get hot out here.
So, entering in the shadow portal, you all feel the vibration that is the low dock, and then you feel a almost very similar vibration directly north of you, and then you feel one that goes to the west. Banthor, you're pretty sure that is Maria. And then you feel another one that goes northwest. And the spirit says, we go to this vibration. And he kind of puts his hand out to you, Banthor, and you kind of feel the vibration of the one that he is sending you, basically. And that is the one that goes to the northwest. He disappears. The spirit disappears, and you're left there with your own. Do you follow that vibration?
Asha's already gone. She's going to the northwest.
All right. One by one, you all travel to the northwest as you find that vibration and follow its signal, basically. It feels like it takes a moment, but you can tell that the sun has gone down yet some more. So it probably took you half an hour, almost an hour to travel this distance. But like I said, it seems like it took you just a moment to go from into the portal to out of the portal. But you can tell the sun has gone down.
Like down, like it's night now, or are we talking like dusk?
So let's see. It's I started off early. Got there an hour later. Muddled about. Got into trouble. Ran away. Muddled about. Got some trouble. Ran away. All right. So it's about midday.
Midday. Oh, still light out.
Yes. Yeah. Just afternoon.
Okay. All right.
You should be hungry, but you're not. You're like, well, we had enough breakfast. It doesn't seem like we, So maybe it only took you an instant, but it still took 30, 40 minutes to get there. You arrive inside a building. This is a second floor to a market building. There are trinkets and apparel, dishes, okay. Rope, tackle, nets, crates, barrels, lamps, tables, chairs, dishes, linen closets, doors, windows, bricks, siding, dishes, more dishes, beds and frames, buckets, buckets full of keys, dressers, chipperos, knick-knack, paddywhacks, and there's a dog with a bone.
Oh.
Live or other?
It is an undead doggy chewing on a bone. That's the first piece of movement that you see. I need everybody to give me a Constitution saving throw with advantage. No guidance.
Well, you can't use guidance on saves anyway.
Hmm. 16.
Syndicate, Banthor, you quickly ingest your ginger as you feel uneasy. You're right there at the edge of the DC. So you're the only. Yeah. Everybody else, you seem to be starting to become accustomed to this. For whatever reason, Banthor, you are not.
Ready for you this time.
What was that?
All right, I just I was ready for it this time. When I'm eating the ginger.
Right. So for a round or two, your perception and your abilities will be at a disadvantage for a couple rounds. But so you the rest of you notice the dog. Banthor, you're kind of just chewing on that and trying to make sure you don't retch.
Mm-hmm.
Also, with all the other stuff and the undead zombie dog chewing on a bone, he kind of looks up at you looks at the bone, looks up at you, and then continues to chew on his bone.
Okay.
Not even growling or anything. He's like, bone. Yeah. And continues chewing on it. You hear a ding, 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 ding as the door is opened, and a wraith-like creature enters in and has some items in his hand and drops them off on the counter and waits for a few moments. A very well-kept zombie-like individual with a smart business suit, a merchant's suit and such, with a big hat and feathers, walks in from a back room, eyes the stuff on the counter, gives them a couple silver coins, and the wraith-like creature ingests the coins, becomes more solid, and moves away. You could tell that this creature is a dark wraith, so one not to be trifled with, basically, or they're more aggro than the white wraiths are, at least in your experience. This one doesn't notice you, takes its coin and leaves the shop. The zombie creature merchant is examining the goods and looks like he's classifying them and setting them aside. The whole time he doesn't seem to recognize your presence.
All right. Kind of. By this point, I have taken the hood off, so and kind of look at the others and like, maybe we can get some information and gesture to the shopkeeper.
The spirit pipes in. He's good. He deals in goods.
Hmm.
He deals in goods.
Well, okay. But can he speak?
I don't know. Want me to go ask him?
And kind of look at the others and like, so what do you want?
I mean, nothing has attacked us yet, so.
All right.
Is the portal still?
Yeah, the portal's still there. Yeah. The portals don't seem to go away, as far as you can tell.
So this is the location. So if we need to, we can just jump back this way. So.
So this is like the second floor. The kind of it's like a balcony, and it's used for storage currently. And there's items all around you and such. There's a stairwell, basically on both sides of the building that goes down from this balcony area. So it's all open. You can see down into the first floor. The balcony just kind of goes around the whole of the shop and is being used as storage.
All these items look mundane. Does anything stick out?
There's nothing that really sticks out. These very mundane items. They've all been placed in. They have all been separated into their categories, whatever the category is, and such. So you could, like I said, walk past a bunch of buckets that have been set, on top of each other, and you notice one of the buckets has a bunch of keys in it. And, you pass a Shifero that's laden with dishes and silverware and such.
Are any of them glowing?
None of the items that are here are glowing, but you notice that some of the items that the Wraith brought are glowing. Were glowing.
Okay. Alright. Yeah. I see no harm. We can see how intelligent it is. Either it's going to acknowledge us one way or another, or just continue to ignore us.
What y'all like to do?
I go up to the
Alright.
shopkeep.
Yeah, Asher goes up to the.
You descend down the stairs, and the shopkeeper looks at the door. He looks up at you with kind of shock in his eyes, and then looks over at the door, and then looks back at you, and then looks up at the portal and frowns. You see him grab a silver coin and throw it in his mouth. Oh, nah, that's better. Are you here to trade?
I guess.
What do you have for trade?
What exactly would you want?
Well, we deal in items and coin and information.
Alright.
Do you have any special items?
Nothing terribly special, I guess. As far as I know. And
He starts to smell, like sniff the air. You have something. I can smell it on you.
couple
Something
things
like
might be-
he grabs an item that he just recently got from the Wraith, the cup, and he grabs the cup, and you can see that it has a slight green tint to it. You have item like this. Well, maybe not this, but you have something with this. And he peers at you with piercing eyes.
Okay.
Places down the fish.
Aha! Yes, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Would you like silver?
Actually,
Like
we were hoping for
information.
information.
Ah, information. Yes, yes. You wish to barter with this?
Yes.
Hmm.
And kind of look at the others. Find out about the glow first, or something else.
I think the glow.
Alright,
What?
look at the shopkeepers. We keep seeing items that do this, but we don't know why. Do you have any information about that?
He looks at the group of you and starts to take in your presence. You know, like, okay, you look, adventurous. And he just like, mumbling to himself and just kind of looking at the group. The green is power. Is money. It's money and power. I have a device. Shh. He puts his finger to his lips and tells you, shh. This device takes out the energy from the items, and then I can sell it. I can sell it either to the Mad Witch or to the Lich and his horde, or sometimes even to those animated monstrosities in the hills. But I'd rather deal with the Witch Queen personally.
Really?
I'll be taking those fish, thank you.
Oh, she only put down one fish. Personally.
You have more? I can tell you more.
All right. Now she puts down the second fish.
Would you like to see the device?
Yes.
Follow me. And he'll walk. He'll throw the part of the table or counter that separates the two. It's kind of like a door, a hinged door. He'll throw that to the side and allow you to come behind this, behind the counter, and he'll go back to a back room.
Okay.
There's a artificer device, bubbling beakers and fire, tubes, and a little bit of magical energy, it seems, is infused in this device. And he says, we take the fishies and we put them here. He puts both of the fish there. And you can see on the table, and you can see them kind of on this plate being heated up, basically, and going through an alchemical process. And it seems to be destroying the item somewhat while extracting this green slime and such. And at the very end, it's going through a process as you walked in. At the very end, you could see a drip, drip, drip into a vial. It says, this may take all day for the fish to reach the other side. But when it does, the Mad Witch will give me many coins. Enough for me to remember yesterday and the day before and the day before. Just from one vial. You bring me more, I give you more coins. She gives me more coins, I remember more, and the cycle continues.
We all behind the counter.
Yes, everybody's,
What? What has
I'm
done this to you? Sorry. Go ahead, Banthor.
Yeah, while y'all are talking, I'm doing my best, while trying not to hurl. See how this alchemical is set up, so I can try to recreate it later.
Okay, all right. Give me an Arcana.
Disadvantage for the nausea.
No, the nausea's passed. It's only a couple rounds.
Nice.
All right. Nice. Okay. So you get a good workup of what devices are being used and such. It's going to take you, not a glance, but some time to observe it and such. But you're starting to okay, I can see where it's going from this to the next thing. There must be some kind of magical property that starts this off at first. And then, so on and so forth. You were saying something else outside of Banthor?
Yeah, what has done this to you? What is... Yeah.
I don't... what do you mean?
You are... undead, yes?
What? I'm undead? No, this can't be. I'm undead. And he just starts mumbling and grumbling to himself.
Why do you like to eat the silver coins.
It helps me remember. Yesterday and the day before.
Why can't you remember?
That's a good question. I
When
guess I
did
haven't
you-
really thought about it. Or maybe I have. I just don't remember.
Mhm. Have you always had the craving for the silver coins, of what you can remember?
As far as I remember, something did happen.
Mhm.
I don't remember what it was. It was slow. Yeah, I remember that. But I don't remember specifically.
Mhm.
It didn't happen yesterday.
Obviously. It is. Can you recall if you started this process, and she points to the alchemical stuff, or someone else give this to you? Give you this knowledge?
Yeah, it was made for me.
It was made
Right.
for you.
Yeah, that I remember. I don't like doing this. He pulls out a silver coin and eats it.
Mhm. It will be much worth it. The more you can tell us, the more we may be able to barter with more of these green things you like.
And also, seeing the second coin go in his mouth, any clear spot away from the alchemy lab stuff. Try to sleight of hand 2 more coins just sitting on the counter.
All right. He eats the first coin that he had, and starts to talk. He says, "It was made for me long ago, but maybe that's why I don't like those guys so much." And then he notices the 2 coins, and are those your coins? No, they're in my shop. They must be mine. And he walks over and pockets them. Yeah, they're mine. Those abominations in the hill, they made these long ago. That's why I don't like them. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I remember. Yeah. That didn't happen yesterday. It must have been a big thing.
What are abominations on the hill?
I got my tongue loose. I hadn't had a conversation in a long time. Well, I've been giving a lot of information to you, but I'll give you this one more because I don't like those guys. They're like not alive, but not undead. They were created much like this machine here.
They're constructs?
I guess that's a good word. They were constructed, so yeah. They mine in the hills there. Always mining. Any more information will cost you. Do you have anything else to trade? I don't really smell anything else on you.
I hold up a silver piece and go, you may not be able to provide the information, but I can. Would you allow me 10 minutes to cast a spell in your shop? And I'm wanting to ritual cast detect magic to try to get more info on what starts this alchemical process.
Gotcha. Will your magic mess with my machine?
Not at all. I don't need to touch it or anything. This magic merely affects my perception.
Okay, I'll take the coin. Thank you.
All right, hand it over.
All right.
And I'll start ritual casting detect magic.
Okay. While he's doing that, is there anything else anybody else is doing? Kellum, are you just hanging out?
I'm looking around to see if he's got any weapons in here.
Okay, cool. Give me a perception roll. Me too. You do notice that there is an area where there's weapons being stored. Very unceremoniously, just stacked in a big pile. Swords on their tips, just with the tip of the sword on the floor, just kind of laying up against the wall. Pikes, spears, things like that. Most seem to be of unusable quality. Nothing that you would really want to take in a fight. Though there is, with a 22 perception, you do notice that there is one longsword that is in pristine condition.
I'll attach it to my belt.
Okay. All right. It takes you, a few minutes to really, comb through that and such. The shopkeeper says, you break it, you buy it.
While I'm attaching just a basic longsword.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
Just a basic longsword?
Yeah.
While I'm attaching that one to my belt, I will knock one of the not so good longswords off the table and let it break.
Okay.
And then bend down and just kind of bring it up to the guy. Well, it broke when it fell 2 foot. And I'll toss the silver onto the table.
It'll snatch the silver up. You broke it, you bought it. The whole time he didn't notice that you had, put the other one on your belt and such.
What do you mean? I came in here with this one.
No, I'm just saying he didn't. Yeah, but I got that.
No, even Kellum was like, attach what? I've had this.
While you're waiting, he sees that you're interested in the swords and stuff, and that you have some silver. You broke something. Is there anything else that you might need? I have good rope and good nets. They haven't been destroyed by time. He actually has good rope and good netting. We have pulleys and things that you might need if you're using things from the dock. I've got dishes that are still in good quality. What else? I got this dog over here, and the dog looks up and growls at him. Never mind. The dog stays. Don't mess with the bone. And there's plenty of stuff. I even have building materials. There's bricks over here, some siding. Most of the siding's okay. And stuff. So he banters on and goes and shows you all sorts of knick-knacky things. Nothing that really has any grand interest, but if you need something, this place probably has it.
I'll ask him got any better weapons hidden away.
Oh. I don't know. Does he have any better weapons anyway? I hadn't really thought that far about him. Let us see. Okay. Well, those are the best weapons in town. But if you're looking for really good weapons, excuse me, those are the best weapons in this area. Haha, there we go. But if you're looking for weapons, what you should do is maybe go to the arena. That's where they have more weapons and such.
The arena. Where's the arena?
Oh, it's just north of here. You don't know where the arena is? Yeah, basically. He points in that direction, and such. There's the big arena, very crowded. But then there's smaller ones off to the side of the big one. That might be easier, to search around. But the best weapons will be at the main arena and such. You might be able to find someone that will trade with you.
Would I be allowed to just kind of wander around there and nobody would care?
I don't know. That didn't happen yesterday or the day before. I don't know. I don't. This is my shop. This is where I stay.
Okay. Kellum will thank him, and then he'll find that dog and look at the dog and we'll pull out some of that little bit of snake jerky I still got with me.
Okay.
And offer it to the dog. Is the dog undead in any way?
It is undead, yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. All right.
Well, wait a minute.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a zombie dog.
I'll offer it the snake jerky. Let's see what happens.
He's been gnawing on this bone. It doesn't have any teeth. And he's just been gnawing on it, gumming it, shall we say. He's made some progress on it, with the bite strength, but not really, because he doesn't have any teeth. He looks up at you and growls a little bit, and then notices the snake jerky. He sniffs of it, looks at his bone, and goes back to it. Goes back to his bone.
Can I attempt animal handling?
Sure.
Oh, bugger. 10.
10? Well, I mean, at least you didn't, it's not a fail. A 10 is like a standard low level, DC and stuff. Right. So, what are you trying to do with your animal handling? Are you still trying to give him the jerky, or?
No, just gonna try and befriend them a little bit. If there's any potential there.
Gotcha. You move closer to him, and he doesn't growl. Though he does look at his bone and then kind of look back up at you with sharp eyes, basically. Like, don't mess with my bone.
I've got no interest in your bone, little fella.
He notices your kind words and your demeanor as you walk towards him. But he doesn't seem to be agitated with you or anything. He's maybe okay with you. Maybe okay. Enough not to, I'm still chewing on your bone. You're close to me. All right. You can stay there as long as you don't mess with my bone, kind of thing. So
I'll leave a piece of snake jerky next to his bone as I walk away.
Okay. As you drop the piece of jerky, he puts his, he'll put his muzzle closer to you, and kind of hovering over his bone, making sure that your hand doesn't get too close and stuff. He notices you drop the jerky, and he sniffs it a little bit, and then goes back to his bone. But he didn't really growl or anything. He just kind of hovered over his bone like, you messing with my bone? Okay, you're not messing with my bone. All right. When you walk back to the group, Banthor looks up from his ritual casting, and you see a nice shining silver sword on Kellum that was not there before. It has enchantment and a slight necrotic aura about it.
Oh, you said it's just a normal sword.
No, I said it was a sword in pristine condition.
Well, yes. GM is being tricky. I'm guessing I'll notice Banthor kind of raising his eyebrow at it.
Yeah.
Of course. Kellum will kind of wave him off. Like,
Not right now.
Yeah.
Not right now. I gotcha.
And of course,
you look up at the you look up at the magical device here. The whole system radiates a slight magical aura, and it is more this plate that is set down that where the process starts is the main magical piece here. It has a bit of necrotic energy, as well as enchantment energy, I guess. Yeah. Which kind of, it looks like it's a reverse enchantment. So instead of making the item magical, it is taking the magical properties out of it. This gives you good ideas and a good, starting point for formulating some ideas about how this works. Also, you noticed with the detect magic, you notice there are runes on this plate and runes on some of the beakers and things like that.
Is it considered language that I can read?
Oh, poopy, I hate you. Yes. I forget you have that. Yes. So Banthor, yeah, you can read this. It is written in Dwarvish. So you've seen Dwarvish before. And so you could see that this basically gives the magical formula, ritual formula for this device. Yeah.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah, you and Necra are busy sketching notes and such. So y'all spend some time duplicating the notes, the runes that are there on the plate and on the other pieces, taking into account what piece is here and what piece is there. I need both of y'all to roll Arcana with advantage, as you are the two of you are looking at this. Banthor, you got a 12 and a 21. Alrighty.
it is kind of ironic that I keep getting these rolls at this.
Really big rolls on Arcana today.
Oh. Yeah.
Alrighty. So you definitely, with the two of y'all looking, are getting a good understanding of what's going on, what entails that first piece, and like I said, it seems like the main thing for it, for breaking down the energy and removing it. Excuse me, for removing the energy. The second part of it is breaking it down into that liquid form, and so that it could be put in a vial. So you gonna need a good bit of time studying this to actually reconstruct it. But with the notes that you have, you can get a good understanding of kind of the process that's going on here. It does look like these items are polluted, and so there must be some source of pollution. And this machine is extracting that pollution and refining it and putting it in the vial.
You had said it destroys the item that it's extracting from, correct?
It doesn't fully destroy the item. It does the fish. You're thinking more because it's a organic substance. So maybe if a plate or something else was put on there, it might deteriorate it to the point where if you dropped it 2 feet, it would break. Sword, kind of thing. So
Okay.
it makes it, the items aren't useless, but definitely wouldn't want to take any of those weapons into combat. They'd break, 1 or 2 uses. The plates, and other things outside of the rope and rigging, nets and stuff like that. Those seem to be solid. All the other stuff, now that you look at this device and look around, you're like, oh, okay, these plates do seem pretty brittle. The Shifero, looks like if I pushed it too hard, it would just fall over, and kind of thing like that.
Gotcha. Now, you said the rope was fine, or?
Yeah, y'all noticed the rope and stuff. It's not magical, but it seems to be in good working order. Nets, they're not magical, but in good working order. You do notice that this shopkeeper has a ringlet around his neck that is magical. It has how do you pronounce that, Sean?
Torque.
Yeah, torque. Okay. It has magical properties. It basically has like persuasive properties. I don't know what magic realm that would be and stuff. So that's why I'm having difficulty. I don't know if there's a magical art. Yeah, I guess basically just be enchanted. Yeah, okay. So,
necrotic on it?
No, it does not seem to be cursed.
Ask. First off, I ask how much for that rope?
What is the going price for rope? Like a 50-foot. Do y'all have any of that on your character sheet? I had forgotten to pop your character sheets up here.
The rope, that's 50 foot.
Yeah, how much? Does it have a value there?
Value. Gold. 1 gold.
1 gold. Okay, all right. Yeah, I've got plenty of rope here. You'll see that he's got, coils of it sitting, in a corner, as well as stacks of netting and pulleys and pulley boxes and such of various sizes. That all seem to be in good condition, working condition. Oh, I guess I could let that go for, I don't know, maybe 5 silver?
How about 5 silver and you throw in where I can get myself some ginger that doesn't glow green?
Ginger. What's that?
I'll take the rope.
That's funny.
And I toss him 5 silver.
Okay. Thank you. Here. Since I didn't have any of that ginger stuff, here, take this tackle box. So I'm saying that backwards or in a weird way. It is a pulley box. It's a pulley box, not a tackle box. A pulley box. So it has like 6 pulleys in conjunction with each other, 3 on top and 3 on the bottom, where you run the rope through it, and it increases your pulling power, torque power, blah. Pulley box. That's what it's called.
Oh, the block and tackle.
Yeah, block and tackle. Yeah. They should be a item, block and tackle.
It is.
All right, here we go. I got it. Dang, 4 times the weight. Okay. Thank you very much.
Last
Of course.
question. Kind of looking at the ropes. Is it all hempen rope, or is there some slimmer, sleeker, something more like silk?
No, everything. Yeah, it all seems to be hemp rope, well made, and some of it's been used for boating. You can kind of tell it's been exposed to a lot of water and stuff like that, but it's still usable. Some coils are better than others, so things like that. But nothing, like made from elven, things like that. Is that what you were looking at? Elven rope?
Silk rope.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Right. Yeah, you don't see any silk rope or anything here.
Okay.
Banthor. You didn't notice this before, but as you were going through and checking out the magical device here, the distiller, you sense more than see it. You still have your detect magic up. You sense a very strong, powerful, magic inside this. Basically, it's a large box that is beside you, and this crate, basically a large crate. You feel something is in there. You felt something similar before in the village. You just can't remember exactly, what this feeling is. But you've only felt it once. And such. So you've been exposed to this once, but you're like, I don't it's in this crate over here.
Is the crate closed?
It is, yeah.
I point to the crate and look at the shopkeep and say, "May I?"
Yeah. There's nothing but some old gemstones in there. Nobody seems to want them.
Yeah, I'll open them up. Or open the crate up.
Okay. It's a small crate, a breadbasket size or so. So 1 by 1 kind of thing. In this crate is full of gemstones of various sizes, colors, and value. Like, you just look at it and you're like, there's an amount. I admit that. You put your hand in and scoop out 30, and there's still, I don't know, 11 more handfuls left. You push some of the gemstones to the side, and you notice that there's a blue stone, and has a slight blue glow to it, and it is it's flush on all sides. What's that? It's octagonal, basically. Yeah, and it's about the size of a D20. Couple carats.
As I've been rifling through all this, I've got the best poker face I can put on.
Okay.
Pull that out.
Yep, I'll pull that one out. I'm like, oh, that's pretty.
Necra, give me a intelligence saving throw.
You mean check or just?
Mean saving throw? Check, intelligence check. Excuse me.
Okay. I know what it is.
Yes. Deep in the bowels of your memory, you remember that this is what y'all constructed in the temple factorium.
Okay. I just gently hold out my hand, like.
Put the stone in your hand.
All right, and I'm gonna study it real careful. I want to find fracture points.
Okay. You look at it, and you can see that it does have some imperfections, and such. So, it could be, smashed easily. It could be broken into separate pieces, possibly.
Okay. And yeah, since most of us seem to speak Draconica, like this is one more thing that we don't want floating around. And look around for things like a hammer or similar tool.
Yeah, you can find a hammer.
One that won't shatter before the gem does?
Yeah.
Alright.
Maybe we should buy this before? I don't exactly want to keep breaking stuff in the shop. And I'm saying this in Draconic.
Maybe we shouldn't be so hasty to break it also.
Why would we not want it floating around? Isn't it just
Because
gems?
we made these. And then I ran.
But are these somehow
Yes.
bad?
Actually, do need to make an intelligence check to remember what they're for, or
Sure.
did
go
I
for
ever
it, yeah.
know?
Yeah, give me a check. So, somebody was basically giving y'all the Temple Factorium resources, food, other things, and trade for y'all to produce these. This stone in particular looks like one of the better made stones. So it has like a later generation. But you've seen different generations of this stone as they've been able to refine it and get it better over the years and such. They keep the old stones to study, like, okay, we don't want to do it this way, we don't want to do it that way, and this is looking better. Oh, that one's way off. Okay, well, we go back to this one, and stuff. So there was a lot of experimental things going on, trying to make new stones from the material that was being mined up and such, and it was being traded with someone, but you don't know who. It's a power source of some sort.
Okay.
So it has a power.
Yeah, and
So why?
This Banthor, this stone is not unlike the gemstone that was in the tree ant at the the village, though much smaller. The other one was more the size of a football, and this one's more the size of a D10.
okay.
So
Not to say that the stone that was made, the stone that y'all had, the football size stone was made at the factory. I'm just saying it just has similar energy.
Okay.
I don't want to get that confused.
So it's a power source. Does it look tainted in any way?
It does not.
So Asha's going to look in Draconics. Why would you want to destroy your potential power source? Something that could be used.
Sure, fine, if you really want it. But I'm trying to get rid of this stuff.
I mean, I'll hold on to it for you, but I just don't see the need to destroy something we could utilize.
It seems to me they're being used as a currency by whoever forced you to make them. In of themselves, they're no threat.
And
Alright.
it seems to be a key to your past that you are trying to run away from.
Haven't run into anything good from it, so.
Well, I'll hold on to this for you. And she'll just hold her hand out. She's not going to try to snatch it. She'll hold her hand out. If you're willing.
Alright, so
She knows
get over.
better. Yeah, she knows better not to take something from Nectra. Be missing that hand.
If only briefly. Though Necra has no freaking clue about that potential capability. But yeah, so hand it over.
Stick.
We'll call that a small blue power stone.
Okay. Small blue. I'll note that down. Jeremy, did you see my message, or are you just like?
I
No.
did not see your message, so give me a moment.
I'm sitting there waiting. I'm like, is he just ignoring me?
Oh, whoa, okay. On
Yeah, on Zomboid.
so. Okay, gotcha. All right. All right. Let me look at.
Yeah, I was hoping to like have that done before, well, while Banthor was doing his thing, and I was like,
Sure.
he was ritual casting. So,
Oh, okay. It's a ritual.
no, that's not a ritual. That's a spell
Okay.
slot. I was saying
Right, okay.
to do that while he was ritual casting. See if I could get any more info.
I'm just reading the spell, so I know what
Yeah.
My apologies.
Mm-hmm.
So again, when did you when Banthor was doing the ritual?
Right. When he was doing the ritual and, like Kellum was messing with the swords and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. So then we started talking about the crate and that stuff. Okay. So yeah, his surface thoughts or, the gems are useless. Nobody wants them. Nobody trades in them and such. So he doesn't, he's like, yeah, maybe I can get a few silver for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's his thought pattern there. He does not have a malicious, intent or thoughts while he's sitting here. His biggest thing is like, oh, can I get more silver? Or can I trade with them? Can do, showing them this, are they going to bring in more stuff? Kind of thing. He's just kind of like rambling through his head of like, okay, how can I make more money out of this?
Right. My hope was to, when we were talking about, I'm basically looking for information on the Lich, Witch, and monstrosities.
Okay. So that you're gonna have to. Well, let's see. So he does have a hate for the constructs. That is evident. Though he's not sure why, and such. So therefore, you're not sure why. Anything else? Y'all haven't really talked about, those other creatures, since casting the spell. So you'd have to actually probe or conversate.
I mean, she'll probe.
All right. Okay.
But I mean, she will ask, because I was wanting to ask him, again, this was kind of would have been earlier, but she would have, I wanted to ask but not interrupt, who started the dealings with the alchemical stuff? Was it the witch, the lich, like who, or did he approach them, like who approached who first? Basically, getting him thinking about it.
Gotcha. So the memories are muddled. There's no direct path ABC kind of thing. He does remember that the constructs sold him this a long time ago, but he doesn't remember when, why, and such. And he's always, as far as he can remember, really been trading in the ectoplasma, for lack of a better word, and in silver and items and such. As far as he can remember, he's always been doing that. There is a regular delivery guy who comes by and picks up and such. He can't remember what day that is because it wasn't yesterday or the day before. But he knows that, at some point there will be a delivery guy that comes by and picks up and then, exchanges silver for ectoplasma.
And
he doesn't know. He doesn't know. And he doesn't know who that delivery person works for. He can't remember.
But as far as he knows, it's the same delivery person.
Yeah, he knows it's routine. It happens often. It's the same person or persons. They come by in a wagon made out of skeletal bones.
Does he? Is there a picture? Does he see who it is? Like, does he have a mental image, basically, that I can see?
Yeah, it looks very similar to the skeletal.
The Death Knight?
Death Knight was using, that wagon and such, but different. Instead of being a cage, to lock up people or skeletons, it's just a buggy, that made out of skeleton bones.
But it is the Death Knight.
No, not per se, not the Death Knight, but something similar. Not that particular undead creature, but another. This is more a wraith creature that comes around and it does the exchanging.
Okay.
It's a dark wraith.
Dark Wraith. Nothing that stands out. Basically about this one, though.
No, the big thing he remembers is, getting silver, for, giving vials of the ectoplasma.
Okay. And there's a regular delivery. All right. Gene, gonna take that in.
That happens at night.
Oh, it's at night. Does he? Can I get how many bottles he makes before before delivery?
He usually has like 3/4 of a bottle, and he'll get anywhere from 50 to 100 silver coins, depending on the going rate.
Okay, but it's usually just one bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's usually just one bottle. If he's lucky, he'll get a full bottle.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
As you notice, one drip, bloop, go into the vial.
And pointing his attention to the alchemy stuff again, says, and the monstrosities gave it to him. Is there anything else about that he hasn't told us? If she gets him talking about the alchemy, the machinery.
The machinery. This machine.
Yeah, that machine.
There's other machines throughout the city.
Oh. So he's not the only one.
Yeah, he's not the only one with one of these. He doesn't know who else has it, but he does remember that there are other machines in the city. So, he has to, work against them in a way. Everybody's competing for the goo.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I think that's all I can get from that.
So we got about 15 minutes or so. Anything we want to do, wrap up?
I wanted to inquire about the necklace, torque, however you pronounce it.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah.
The torque. Okay.
Yeah.
And Ashra also just puts that in her pocket, that stone, and says nothing about it.
Okay.
I mean, not to the group. Obviously, they know. I'm saying to him. She's not saying anything.
Got it.
He's not paying attention. She just puts that in her pocket. So.
All right. So you catch him when he's not looking, and you're able to slip that in your pocket. It doesn't seem that he was aware of you doing that. He has been, keeping a loose eye on the creative gems and such, but not like a hawk eye. You know, as far as he's concerned, they're kind of useless. You know, and
Right.
such. And what was the? Oh, torque. So Banthor, you ask him. You know, what do you say in particular?
Yeah, it's a beautiful necklace you got there. Would you be willing to part with it?
Oh, this was given to me by my. What was she? Well, a lady gave this to me long time ago. I think it's important to her. I think I'm going to keep it. Maybe I'll remember tomorrow.
Okay, well, wouldn't want you to part with anything you're not comfortable with, obviously. So, but it is a beautiful necklace. It just looks good on you.
Huh. Thank you. I appreciate that. At one time, I was kind of tempted to melt it down. It's made out of silver, but then I remembered that it was important to somebody. I can't remember who, but I remember it was important. So, yeah, she gave it to me. Yeah.
You keep stocking this shop with such good wares, maybe you'll get enough silver to remember.
That's an idea. And he kind of mumbles to himself for a little while.
Well, I believe there's nothing else I wish to see in the shop. Is everybody else ready to go?
Yeah, I did kind of want to try and look through the pile of gems. Is like, do we just stumble across for that? The last one for the one to clean the temple out.
The stone of the power stone. I think this would work as a power stone. It is a
What's
source
that?
of power. The blue stone, the small one. Would it work for the temple?
Okay.
Temple of Tyr in the basement.
Gotcha. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, the goblets.
Okay. This stone could be used, but it is not imbued with anything.
Right. So not the right stone. Could be used, but
it's a blank stone, so it doesn't have anything in it per se. So the other stones were very similar in power, but they were imbued with a aspect or a spell.
right.
So yes and no. That's a building block to get to.
We could basically
Not
use this
directly.
to make one,
Right.
but as it is right now, it's just a blank slate power source.
Correct. Right.
Okay. So, not sure it would shake her head. No, this is. If it comes down to it, we could make it into something, but.
So that being said, you may have a possibility of making a magical item or a magic focus or storing a spell in it, something like that.
Right. I definitely want to study on the stone more, seeing what we can do, but she'll save that for later times.
Okay.
But as far as we probably need to continue, in Draconic, she will share what she has found out. That there are other people there's other alchemical machines, and there are other people siphoning polluted items. So he is not the only one.
Yeah, I think we started think we started to fuss over by one of the other machines.
And also the delivery. Then once he gets enough in one vial, there's someone. So perhaps we may catch a carriage roaming around at night, making the exchange. Going from place to place, not just here, but picking up a couple of vials here and there from different places. That is something for us to chew on.
We should probably go find ourselves a place to stay close by. Unless we want to
Here.
use the portal to go back to our base camp.
I think we should probably regroup at our base camp and give ourselves some time to think of digest this information we've gathered and come up with our next plan.
Yeah. I think there's a few things we should discuss while we're there. And as Kelvin says that, he pats the not new sword on his belt as he looks at Banthor.
Asha just raises an eyebrow like, another one? She doesn't say that, but it's just like, another one.
I just kind of wink and then nod like, yeah, well, we're going to talk about that.
Right. All right. Well,
Have you used your identifier for the day?
this is still the same day, so yes.
Okay. All right.
We have not had a long rest, and I believe I've used this already.
Yeah, I can't remember what, but I believe you used it. So yeah.
I believe I used it to identify the pedestals, and the animated armor, and that was all still in one day when we did that. We went back into the temple, got past those, and found the treasure.
Yeah, I think maybe. But y'all did a long rest and then started out the next day.
Did we?
Yeah, I believe. Or was that a short rest? And y'all.
I believe we did a short rest at most, but I don't think we clarified a long rest yet.
Gotcha. So it is actually later in the day. My apologies.
But can we, since we seem to be pretty well done here, can we do kind of like a fast travel back to our base so that certain conversations can be had without worry of eavesdropping?
Yeah. So you finish your business with the merchant. He says, come back anytime. You go back up to the second floor where the shadow portal is. Enter in and head to Maria. You pretty much gotten that one down. Banthor, you feel a little queasy coming out of this one. Give me a constitution saving throw. Just one, just standard. 19. Alrighty. So this time you don't get you get a slight, easy feeling, but it feels like you've gotten the hang of it now. The rest of the group, y'all don't need to make Constitution saving throws, and you find yourself in the southern market at Maria. It'll take you about. Depending on how you traveled, a couple hours to make it through the farm area and such.
Mhm.
Okay. Huh. While you're walking through, knowing now a little bit more about the environment and such, you do notice y'all are able to pick up 4 pieces of vegetables that are glowing green and such.
Okay.
Or at least you notice 4 pieces. Whether or not you pick them up, I'll let you do that.
And we don't feel like it'll be just handling these things are not going to we're not going to get radiation sickness. You know, just being in proximity of these things.
Right. It didn't seem to. I believe you had detect magic on at some point, looking at some of this stuff.
Yeah, the
So
fish.
it doesn't seem. Yeah, the fish. So they don't seem to be radiating, outward. So being in proximity doesn't seem to, shouldn't be an issue. Touching it, you're still not very sure about. So handling it, with like you did earlier with leather or some other device between you and it, probably would be wise.
All right, so kind of backtrack. Were there gloves in the place in his shop?
Sure. Y'all find enough gloves that are decent. Thick leather gloves used for farming and such, or for handling rigging. So thick leather gloves that don't seem to be, a bad condition.
All right.
Enough for enough for everybody to have a decent pair.
All right. So gloves and a sack.
So he'll ask for 3 silver for the gloves and a sack.
All right, and I'll drop the 3 silver. So don't worry.
All right.
All the gloves and the sack. So that way,
So
the way. Oh, go ahead.
So that's 4 pieces of glowing fruit, vegetables.
Okay, yeah. And that way we can then, if we go back to him or someone else, we have something to barter with.
Right. Damn it, I was going to do something and I totally forgot what I was going to do. Oh, yeah, I remember now. XP. For burning the dock and all the skeletal zombie creatures there. Also, setting the merchant on a path to remember where he got the torque from. Everyone, wardens get 1250 XP, 1,250 XP. And non-wardens get 1,500.
Okay.
Level 6.
Yay! Just need some training. Or you're going warlock. Oh no, you're going fighter, right?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. All right. So if you go warlock, there's no training.
Yep.
Otherwise, sparring practice.
Yes.
Yeah. If you go fighter, you are currently what?
3.
Level 3 fighter. Okay. So it'll take you 1 day of training. So.
Once we get to the base camp, Pelham will ask Banthor to check out this pristine sword. Obviously, Banthor had something to say about it when he first saw it, so that's got Pelham curious.
It has a slight enchantment and a curse on it.
I'm going to say, I'll give you one guess on what I'm about to say about this item.
Well, I'm sure there's something in, like all this other stuff here, necrotic or something. But it was interesting because it was the only sword over there that was actually could be called a sword.
Yeah, I do find that interesting, but it does seem, back when I saw it, detect magic, it appeared like most of the other cursed items we've seen. I can attempt to look at it a little closer. Just need a little bit of time to cast detect magic again, and I can try to inspect it deeper to see if there's anything new or special about this particular item.
If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to know more about it.
No, not at all.
All right. You do the ritual. It has a curse on it. It doesn't seem to be a strong curse. Just a curse of some sort. And you could probably divine that it's, a +1, maybe a +2 longsword.
Quality seems pretty good, a little bit better than average, and definitely is a curse on it. Doesn't seem to be too malicious of a curse. No real way to know unless we identify it or decide to attune to it.
Well, since it's such a small curse,
Asha is going to vehemently no. We're not taking chances with any of these things.
And as I inspected, I have been using a cloth.
Things.
I mean, I've been touching it without a cloth. Fine.
And that is your decision to make.
I just rather,
nature or
even if it's a small curse, even the smallest curses can affect you at the wrong time. And it's just not worth the detriment it could cause.
True, but it's everybody's decision to make.
Well, is there anything we can do to identify it while we're here on this mission?
So if I identify it tomorrow, but not tonight.
I'd like to take a day to just reflect on our experiences and just. So
Since we're going to be resting anyway and discussing our next steps, I can take the time to better identify 1 to 2 more of these items we found. Then we can judge whether it's worth it or not.
Yes. Well, I would suggest, much like y'all are, that we take some time, downtime. Maybe we set up, or I would add to that we set up a watch over the city. We're close enough that we can observe it during the day and see what all is happening, get a little bit more idea of the patterns that the skeletons or the undead are taking.
Definitely know that there's an ecosystem here. No one's aware of with these factions and things, and even these skeletons some of them are more active and animated without being completely controlled or directly influenced. That guy back there who eats the silver, we never got a name from him. so.
I'm sure he wouldn't remember it anyway.
And to him, he believes he's still alive and not even undead.
Truly
The
a
spirit does
terrible
follow you to Miranda, but then Maria, excuse me.
But he doesn't leave the city?
Correct.
Okay.
He says that he's a city dweller and he can't go out into the farms.
Okay. Kind of, while everything else is being discussed, is like, well, we could drop a dozen or so silver on Casper, the ghost that should be trying to be friendly, and see if maybe we can get an explanation as to what happened, if that's enough to get him to recall that. Like, what started this?
Gotcha. So, if you'd like, you can, leave some coin for him, or, give him like a small
No, this
pile, like
is
I said.
when we're back at the farm. Is like, well,
Oh,
looking at
Gotcha.
all the info and da-da-da. Like,
Right.
Real quick, sorry. Banthor, what's your XP total? I actually messed up and I've reset mine to exactly level 5 somehow.
You get current XP is 14,945.
45. All right, thank you.
Now, that said XP has got me in trouble before.
So if we have any other ideas and such, we can post them on the
Right. In the chat.
right, and then we can, go through some of those through the weeks and such, and I can look at some of those and get some ideas and write some notes and such.
Mm-hmm.
But the big thing, yeah, if you're going to take like a day, to level up, do your training and such, you need to spend a good portion of the day doing that. But you can also do like one other thing, kind of thing outside of sleeping and stuff. So you could have, practice up on the, edge, so y'all could kind of watching, from afar. But your concentration would be on training. But then, you could spend some time doing some other activity, whether it is watching in particular during the day or night, something happening here, or, doing other activities and such. So just think about what you might want to be doing on your day off, on your downtime day, and put those in notes either directly to me or to the chat. We can put those in general, would be fine. Or hold on, let me look exactly. Well, how about you put them, any of our downtime, put that in the in-game chat.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Works for me.
All right.
Any final questions, concerns, gripes, blah?
Got a few questions, but we can wait until after stream.
Yeah. After stream questions.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, we appreciate you all coming and watching this either during or afterwards. We'll be moving out of the Welcome to the Jungle chapter, and I'll let you know what the next chapter name is, depending on exactly what our friends here, our adventurers, are trying to do past that.
Next chapter, Danger Zone.
I know, right? Dun, 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 dun. No, yeah. What is it? Top Gun. There we go.
All right. Well, back here tomorrow for X4 and Saturday for Fallout. Till then,
Thank you.
everybody have a good one.